Hi, welcome to the Run Testers. I'm Nick.
And I'm Tom.
And in this video we're going to be comparing the Nike Alphafly NEXT
and the New Balance FuelCell RC Elite 2.
Yeah. So when it comes to design, it's fair to say that these are the big, really big chunksters of the carbon shoe world, even in a world full of very chunky shoes. They both have stacks that go right up to kind of the 39, 40mm World Athletics limit. The Alphafly has a smaller drop. It's got a 4mm drop from heel to toe, whereas the New Balance has a 10mm drop from heel to toe. They're pretty close in weight. My Alphafly in UK size 9 is 232 grams, which is 8.18 ounces, whereas New Balance is 225 grams or 7.9 ounces, so slightly lighter there. And the New Balance is the cheaper shoe as well. It's £210 or $225, whereas the Alphafly is 260 or 70 pounds, depending on the design you're looking at, $275. In terms of the actual design, you've got the Atom knit upper on the Alphafly. It's kind of a fairly stiff knitted material, doesn't have too much give, creates quite a nice lockdown fit, although it's got this kind of booty design, which some people find quite hard to get into. Obviously, the midsole, you've got Nike's Zoom X foam that runs all the way through the midsole, but obviously more of it at the back, because at the forefoot, you've got Air Zoom pods as well, which is the big difference to the Vaporfly. They're kind of a bit firmer, add a little bit more pop to your toe off, whereas Zoom X is the brilliant Piba foam that Nike's been using on its racers. That's very lightweight, loads of pop, very, very popular. And then the outsole, got quite a lot of rubber on the forefoot actually, a really good generous coating here, grips really well as well. And then you've got the kind of classic Nike 2 strips on the back there, just kind of either side there to provide a bit more protection. Your Balance has got a nice open upper, a little bit of sparkly bits on this purple one, and then it's got probably got a little bit more padding around the kind of heel compared to the Nike shoe. Got New Balance's FuelCell foam in the midsole. It's obviously really nice foam, very lightweight. New Balance kind of tweaks this from shoe to shoe, but got very soft, springy feel here, and you really don't feel the carbon plate much at all in the shoe as a result of that. On the outsole, you've got a nice, good generous covering there of rubber. Extends all the way to the back, should increase the durability of the shoe. Nice grip. It's not the Dynaride little studs you got on the original RC Elite, but yeah, it's a good outsole that I found has gripped well in lots of conditions. Do a quick word on the fit. I'm true to size in both these shoes. I found I'm slightly loose sometimes in the FuelCell around the midfoot, but nothing a problem, and no real problems at all on the Alphafly in my true to size.
Same for me as well. And exactly with this, yeah, it's a little bit of a looser fit than I'd normally expect from a race shoe, but yeah, true to size in both.
All right, important stuff, the run test. I love both these shoes. These are big cushion cruisers, Tom, is that fair to say?
Very fair. Yes, yeah. I think if you're looking for a sort of cushioned, thick stack shoe, these are the ones you're going to be looking for race day. Very similar in a lot of ways, but not in other ways. So I think for me, they've both got that sort of really nice, soft cushion feel. It feels like it's protecting your legs when you're running. It feels like it's taking a lot of impact. But I think the Alphafly feels faster and a bit poppier for me. Yeah,
I'd agree. I think that's all of that. It really down is to the pods. I think the pods make a bit of a difference in they're a bit firmer at the forefoot. This makes it feel a bit more racy when you've got a slightly firmer forefoot. And I think FuelCell foam is really good. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's a bit softer and less responsive sometimes than the Zoom X in the Nike kind of Vaporfly and the Alphafly. You just get a bit more kind of back from it, I think. So I think, even though I think both the shoes are definitely better at the longer races, this is something, if you had to pick between the two for 5k, say, I'd be looking at the Alphafly, really.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think this is by far the most versatile shoe for different types of racing that you're going to do. I also just enjoy running in this shoe more. It just feels nicer. It feels like you can just go a bit faster. It feels a little bit lighter on the feet. And just has that lovely Zoom X bounce, which I've never found a shoe that has that same exact feel.
No, yeah. It's the fantastic foam. I think we're realising certainly with carbon shoes that the foam really is as crucial as the actual plate. I think in terms of some kind of benefits of New Balance, I think I've used this a lot as a training shoe, which is obviously, it's very expensive, but if you are into that kind of thing, it's such a fantastic training shoe. And that when you're running slow in it, you don't really feel the plate at all. It just feels like a comfy shoe. But it does always have that pace. We've both raced a half marathon in it. Like, you can run hard in it. I've done then at the same time I've done 24 milers, 22 miles in the shoe. It's my favourite kind of marathon training shoe, but on race day I'll probably be switching to this.
Yeah, I'm with you all the way on that one. I really enjoy this shoe, but if it ever came to race day, I would always go for this or the Vaporfly, just because this is a little bit. And I love a soft shoe.
Yeah.
I love cushioning. That's like my main thing I always get in a shoe. But for me, on race day, that softness and that cushioning in this is just a little bit too much for me when it's compared to shoes like the Alphafly.
Yeah, I'd say both are fairly disconnected from the ground. You've probably got a bit more ground fill in this shoe, but it's probably one that's not going to last maybe quite as well as the New Balance. Like, I've put this for a lot of miles and it is still holding up well in terms of bounce, but I feel this is probably a shoe that's got a little bit more life in it, if that's important to you. It's a fair bit cheaper as well. We'll talk about that in the verdict, but like I say, maybe a really good trainer racer for £210.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But if I was going for a trainer racer from New Balance, I'd go for the FuelCell TC, because it's one of my favourite shoes of all time, and it's just a little bit more durable. You've got a bit more rubber on the outside. But yeah, I'd definitely say it's the same with any Nike carbon plate shoe, isn't it? Durability is always going to be an issue, and this kind of pops it when it comes to durability.
So I think right now, out there, these are probably the two most cushy marathon racing shoes going. Like, I think if you're all about like pure comfort with pace on the run, these are probably the two best options. Although I think we both think the Vaporfly's got a little edge on maybe the New Balance when it comes to actually racing. But between the two, let's talk about price as well and take that into account. Because this is £270 and that is £210. That's a big difference. Would you be paying the extra for the Alphafly?
Yes, but it's a difficult one. I think for 210, I think I'd go for the Alphafly. If this was a bit cheaper, if this was 190, I'd go for this all the way.
Okay.
But just at 210 and that, I think that just pips it because of the benefits you get from this shoe.
Yeah, I think if you're really performance focused, like I'm obsessive about marathons, it's my main race, I really want to give everything on race day, I'm going to spend the extra on this. If you're taking that down a notch, you want to do well on race day, but you really want, you're buying one carbon shoe, you want to do a lot of running, you're prepared, to put it through, a lot more. You're not all obsessive about spending a vast amount of money on that one day shoe. The New Balance has a lot going for it, I think. I really like using it kind of day to day. I think it holds up well, and I don't think it's going to be at all slow on marathon day. Yeah. It's just, I think you're getting a little bit more pop from the shoe. Yeah,
it's definitely, when you look at carbon plate shoes, there's not many I would class as good enough or durable enough to use on a daily basis, but this is one of them, which is just a nice feature that you don't get from a lot of carbon shoes.
Definitely. So that's it, guys. That is our versus for the Nike Alphafly NEXT versus the New Balance RC Elite V2. Let us know in the comments what you think. If you have both of these shoes, which you prefer, would you save the money and buy the New Balance? It was up to you. Other than that, just like, subscribe, I guess.
Thanks a lot for watching.
See you next time.
See you soon.